Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyabzonje Daye Jenzo Je Sonamje Je Son Sanje Che Zoje Chonam La Chanjo Bando Dane Gyabzonje Daye Jenzo Jeve Sonam Do Benje Sanje Do Bar Shoy Asemje Tamje Deva Jodan Dembar Joji Semje Tamje Dunga Da Dunga Je Judan Dawar Joji Semje Tamje Dunga Mebe Dewa Damenda Je Semje Tamje Niran Chada Nidan Dawe Danyo La Nevar Jur Je Semje Tamje Dewa Dewe Judan Dembar Juje Semje Tamje Dunga Dan Dunga Je Judan Dawar Juje Semje Tamje Dunga Mebe Dewa War Juje Semje Tamje Niran Chada Nidan Danyam La Nevara Joro Jeo Saje Oje Jojame Dojam Rera Lenje Nede Jebande Sanye Shando Mene Powaye Dogo Namda Jobar Sho Yena Guru Rana Medala Kame Yadayame. In English, on page number 11, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyfulness. May all sentient beings avoid equanimity, fear of bias, attachment, and anger. This ground, known to be perfumed, strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, encircled by the four continents, surmounted by the sun and the moon, I visualize this Buddha feeling and offering. May all living beings enjoy the pure land. Ilong Guru Rana Medala Foundation's prayer on page number 14. Leparatone bepadumai Gupachem Dembarachem Long Jie Be Da Ve Den San De Xian Do Nie Ga Dong Qian Xie Zhen Nian Zhe Guan Du Niang Bo Len Be Lo Jun Che Me Par Je Wer Che Je Lo Liu So Ye Wa Ju Yi Chu Nyur Do Je Be Che Wa Zhen Ba Da Xie Wei Ji Su Lu Dang Zhe Ma Xie Er Na Len Jie Che Xian Chang Wa La Nie Ba Den Bo Nie Ne Nie Be Su Cha Xian Cha Wa Nam Yang Wa Dang Ye Zong Ta Da Ru Par Che Pa La Ta Du Ba Da Den Par Che Je Lo Je Be Me Ngo Du Nga Gun Je Gu Ye Den Me Ro Se Be Pun Zong Ye Ye Me Re Ne Tar We De Wa La Do Nye Chen Bo Je War Chen Je Lo Nam Da Sam Ba De Ye Chang Wa Ye Den Da Xie Shen Ba Yu Chen Bo Ye Da Ve Za Wa So Sur Tar Ba La Ru Ba Nyang Bo Che Bar Ye Lo Ra Nye So So Long Wa Je Shen Du Ma Ju Du Wa Gun Jiang De Zhao Tu Ne Zhou Wa Zhou Wei Gur Chi Wei Chang Zhou Sen Zhang Zhong Wu Shen Ji Long Sen Zang Jie Zhang Cu Zhen Nam Sun La Gong Ba Me La Chang Zhou Me Zhou Bar La Bar Dong Ne Ya Se Dong Pa La Song Ba Da Bo Lo Bar Chen Lo Bei Yu La Yang Wa Xie Che Jiang Yang Da Dong La Zu Shen Zhou Ba Xie Ne Lang Dong Song Du Zhao Wei La Yu Do Zhou Je War Zhen Je Lo To Mo Lang Jia No Du Zhe Ma Na Te Ba Gun Je Zhe Zhe Do Je Da Ka San Je Wu Zhong Wu Dang Ban De
de lo nye to jo par shen lo de ze ngu ro nam ni ru de nam da da ze dong par song la Chö ma men nye ba nye jur ne so dang de de song bar shen lo de ne jur de nyang bo de nye ne na je shen do ne zong ba ye de xie na zhou zhou mi me ye wan dang de song xian zhou bar xian xian lo de der nam san dong bi xie nian dang zu zhen zhe bian zhou na xia de zhang che da na ye war du zhou bi su nie war she war she ye la du so ye wa gun do yang da la ma da zhe me che je ba la lo jo zhang sa da lam ye yong de rong zo ne dor je chan je go pa nyu do shu. Okay.
On page 15 in English, the foundation prayer. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and venerable Guru, correctly devoting to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its test. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly change and death comes. After death, the effects of black and white karma persist as a shadow follows the body. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities, and to accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking the pleasures of samsara leads to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Having seen that all beings, like kind mothers, have fallen, like myself, into the ocean of samsara, may I train in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility for freeing all migratory beings. If I develop bodhicitta without practicing concrete types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. by pacifying distractions to wrong and correctly analyzing the meaning of reality. Please bless me to generate quickly in my mind streams the path uniting all abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the Vajrayana, the highest of vehicles. The basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and commitments. Having become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges with my life. Having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. May the Gurus of Shisho the noble path and spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Gurus and the magnificent Dharma. By completing qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the states of Buddha.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Good morning and Tashidelik.
당가 좀 가좀마 뽕지니 로요레다 조니 당보텔라 원로 양 삼동나 소소니 밀리르 모치데 토요데다 자치 모임 바테 삼고르지 밀리르 모치데 가르도 나오도 단다 리조 데텔라테니 삼로도 페쇼 당네 나오도 남쇼텔라 기르와테니 소소 데디크 스로마가 등아들라테니 종특부요 자테 당보 리드 자치 모임 바텐데 삼고르지
The first of all, I think the primarily very important that we always think and contemplate or meditate that how precious we are or I am to obtaining this precious human body or precious human life. So this is the most important. At the very first and beginning, we always start with thinking that how precious I am and having this human body or the human life. Because by having this precious body, that base, I can I can develop the all kinds of thoughts or the minds and the experience and so on and so forth. And by having this thought and experience and mind, we'll have all kinds of the experience of happiness and experience of suffering.
근데 지금 니와데 가랑조라 상기위 니와데 사원데 요와데 사원데라테니 이긴 싸가이나 가랑조는 비 상기진 상기토와 때 이친고 그래서
And the second thing is the have faith that we all have the seed of the Buddha or the the seed of the that we can attain the enlightenment, and so that is the second one.
근데 요나 안에 때 정을 셔바라 당보 티 돈도데 소소 티와치 티 가르 상기 가능데 송샤데 혼년지 티 돈도 파 삼로당 돈도 수 하고 송데 준비 곰지나데 소소 팅기와 당 특기요레스
So therefore, and one should apply the three important tasks, which are listening, contemplating, and meditations. First of all, listening, meaning collecting the knowledge and informations from the Buddha teaching as much as we can. So once we obtained, then contemplate on those teaching the as much as you can, and finally the meditate on those knowledge that whatever you learn and from the Buddha teaching, and through that way we definitely able to change ourselves.
지용소 tellatini limri sayate ta cho matak pasan ro dong tende li za chenbo tong sanji ji kompong tok diwa yo bite de litin za chenbo yo bate nji la wa ba nam chwa me chen ba nam ching me ba te samlo tang le na ang sun nga des ji ti chu tam ji jala pan to yo ri sing am to yo mo ri.
So therefore, karma, or the impermanence, and the life is cannot be reliant and not certain, and so on and so forth. Uh, uh, also this is also good to know, to remind ourselves that the our life, that precious life, is also cannot be reliant because it is impermanent, and easily to show the signs of impermanence or changiness and so on and so forth, and which is, I think, is very good, because by reminding in this way, so we wouldn't distract ourselves all the time, meaning we will always maintain our schedule, discipline, and then so on and so forth.
다 당도 시험이 진짜 시송만 가려 연구를 다 좋았대 레고. 다 시송만 가려 연구를 결혼 직보 뒤니 뭐데 저도 얘들 당 놀롱수 용수 카트네 용수 직보 네 받는 거 로고를. 데 로고나 가려 들이 판도 진긴데 다 단다 세대라니 소기 위 섬지근데 랑니 사베 다 개와데 저 대기 요는 뜻 저런 걸 마오나 다 저런 판도 시슈들이 뜻이고 뜻 반지 신들라 득바 먹고 상하나 띵냠도 저런 등의 연구를 뜻이 그런 식으로 뜻 저는 뜻 경험 연구도 경험을 더 하고에나 어 때랑 예와 템포냐 소나다 소소 신들라 개와지알라 바조지아 득바치 섞어라 잼바 연구를 해지.
So once the what happened after death, and so that's the questions. What happens once I leave this body, or once I finish my life, or once the death appear? So what happens? So that's the questions, and the answer will be, once we died, and there's nothing we can carry with us, no matter how wealthy, powerful, and anything you have, none of them are useful, and you have to leave them behind. And the only thing you can carry with you is the karma. What kind of karma we accumulate during our lifetime, the virtues, non-virtues, and so on and so forth. And the based on the karma we accumulate, it will determine our next life. And so that's why it is very important to know the consequences of the virtues and the non-virtues, and we know that if we accumulate the virtues and the positive and so on and so forth, and that will generate the goodness in next life, and vice versa. And by knowing that, so we will have a kind of very certain the understanding, or the meaning of the the life and death and the karma that whatever we accumulate will appear the next life.
어떻게 이유가 가르는 접해 모든 게 이거 다 가르는 그런 세득이 직든득이 샤워 차통 좀니 차통 살송아 늑송아서 자원 이유 말이지 니만 배치니만 너 그치 살송이 이제 용되게를 대진은 뭐 지종으로 그뒤 바로 뒤 동박king 뒤쪽은 요가 때 소교시마 순도서 람카티 다르지야 드세버스
The so there is no such things called the I'm done or I'm finished. We think I'm finished and I'm done, but it isn't. There's still something to do, and it's like the water stream, endless. The movements of work, chore, and activities, and so on and so forth. So endless, and so that's why. Again, be careful and mindful toward the practice, and make sure that you choose and walk on the path of the practice.
차당 얼마니 겐지라 게트잉이요 겐데 같은 라노 당 내가 잘 손나다 좀 그냥 망가 당 치고 세거스 때들은 내가 잘요 말보다 아니 맞가다 미치 동니 로키로 동나 겐 게트잉이 겐들라 겐 그때 내가 잘 손나 망가 당 로들라세 근데 겐 등은 삼지로 같은 거는 다때 진짜 맞어 근데 게트잉이 만 망가 당 쳐야지 다때스 롤로 찌보제 같이 했어
Mhm. So there's a joke about this the never-ending work and chore. So once upon a time in Tibet, there was a teacher and with the two students, two novice monk, and the teacher always said like, okay, we will go for vacations. And when it comes, then say, okay, never mind, we will go, and keep.
내가 잘 손나
Oh, sorry. And the teacher will say, teacher always kind of saying that once we finish the work, but work never finish. And teacher always say, oh, once we finish the work, we will go for vacations. And but one day the students students say, oh, master, look at that. There was the group of people who carrying a dead body, and they say, oh, now they are finished their work. And then now they are finished work. Seems like they are going for feast or vacations, and so teachers smile and understand what students was kind of indicating, and then teacher just okay, let's go for vacations.
자다네 당가 좀 받수 지고 가려서 나롱도 텐들라 동나 끼와시마데 나롱 랍다 담am 맞종나 가서 끼와시마데 미 끼와 여고치 렌지 때문에 기위신의 찬이 아니를 맞네 종지 타박 텐데 받수지 몰음 잡지 대좀 같이 모래지 다 델리야 토스 종나 어다 끼와시마데 용나 끼와시마데 여고치 맞종나 단단한 송안로 끼스 받는 다 타라토고르사 삼로트다 타라토고르 다 임승급 타라토니로 송나지는 거 끼워서 어떤 지는 코르이 등을 제가나 지게 등을 리트라진 타르이 공부 도구인데 삼로트 기억나 그 그래서 인종구 삼바 난 인종구 삼바데 지마 마임바 질라키나 더 솔럼세 소질람 타면 이 솔럼 더 버려지
솔럼. So it is so Geshe just the explained very briefly that what we had discussed previous classes about the Lamrim, the foundation prayers. So Geshe just mentioned that so this is you have to remember what I said, and so whatever you practice, we always be prepared for the our next life, and that's the most important. And if we can, and try our best that that uh, uh, my very purpose of the practice is to attaining the precious human life again, and not only just able to the rebirth in the precious human life, but I may able to meet or be with the master or the teachers. So that's the or first you have to work on. And like mm, if you want to try to achieve better than that, then it will be to attaining the liberations. So that is the kind of like little bit advanced target, or the advanced aim to attaining the liberations. And otherwise, how we develop the intentions toward the liberations, by knowing that uh, if I accumulate this the numbers of non-virtues, there is a risk that I might fall in uh, the uh, the lower realms, or and so forth. So that's why it is important that make sure first to attaining the human precious life, and be with the master. If you want to better than that, then maybe aiming toward the liberations, and that aiming toward the liberations or intentions to want to liberate oneself. So this is what we call the renunciations. And once we have a pure and complete and proper renunciations, and then we call the path of the accumulations. We attend the path of the accumulations.
타와 토브네 타와 토브도 타와 토브도 제가 단치게 등을 때로 제가 진짜 기원 제가 기원에 나랑 기원 막 마랑으로 랑함에 받듯이 요 말이지.
Tarotonara. So the speaking of liberations, if you,
또 그랬습니다.
liberations means that you successfully able to free from the destructive emotions or delusions and the negativities, and meaning that you are free from the what is known as the four kinds of suffering, suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death. And also means that you have freedom to wherever you want to rebirth. Uh, Ordinarily, we don't have a control. We might rebirth in any realms, but once you liberate, you have a control and fully kind of like you can wish. You can make a wish yourself that wherever you want to rebirth again.
그래서 땅으로 진뜬이 병로랑 라고도 맞지. 소소샘 소소하고 요. 샘마 시덕진이 샘마 시덕진이 샘마 차당 그저와 근데는 당봉 안진 기자와 근데는 차당 전에 때 라인진 샘마 삼로도 잡고나 람성 까지네. 아니 또 기와시 맞지 3위고 봐도 벌써 먹이 집공처럼 송고 요래지.
걸려 완전된 차단치.
안진 이런 것들이 차당 때문에 다당이 잡을지 때문에 리망으로 리게도 썩고르지. 뭐디와서 tinsanter tela samlo tang china susu la tangzi jiwor so ta karjina so su kyawashima lami kompa to bala makeji pung chitap song ko. So and
So the very conclusions of the what I'm the trying to trying to say is the always check yourself and watch your mind wherever you are. That's the important because you know your mind better than others, and wherever you are, always check yourself and check your mind, and otherwise we might doomed or the influence or the dominate by the self grasping and or self grasping. Because of self grasping, it will uh, it will cause the either attachments and aversions, and when we have attachments and aversion, it will cause the either that is my enemy or that is my loved one, and so forth. And because of that, and we will create the all kinds of karma, the virtues and non-virtues karma. And so that is very important. Always watch your mind, and wherever you are, and watch your mind, meaning is the to the discipline yourself. And once you discipline, by disciplining yourself, you plus you you know the also practice the 10 virtues, the morality of the 10 virtues. And when we practice the morality of the 10 virtues, so there are greater possibility that we can or we will able to attain or obtain the human's precious rebirth.
그래서 다 인들이 가지고 그렇다 뜻이죠. 다 섬지 담질 랑치고 많이 봐. 섬지 담지거든. 조배 성지 공부 토벌 시작하고 있어. 삼로도 계나. 또 상치지 샘세를 또 토마 지마만 베슬라 이야기나 takwachi 뭐 솔음 타바르지.
아주 많이 봤어. 다시 지원은 디 창주 셈는 봐.
정치 섬질라 기용으로 성지 섬토 지마만 베길라기나 takwachi 뭐 솔음 타바르지.
So anyway, the practicing of the the thinking others, not only just yourself, but always thinking others or have a great intentions toward others. We call the bodhisattva, or the practice of the bodhicitta. And once you have the pure and the proper the mind of the bodhicitta, then you will kind of attain the higher the path of the accumulations.
다 섬지 정치도 나서나 공부하면 성지만 그렇다. 정치지 샘기나 갈 섬지 샘기나 섬지 담지게 돈도 섬지 담지다 이 대화로 고버식인 공부도 이 고고고 그 고바든 이 지긴 뒤쳤던 강원벌 속을 성지긴 다뒤 담자가 들어. 다때 담자와 레로 요말 다때 진 담자네 성지기 공부 도벌 제발 가르치고래나 다 좋네. 그게 좋고 lam lawasum jinang danda de chitram nambasum la tabgor chitong sotor ji domba chatong sozuling ne isam gute choba cha song ani tela ten cho ji gewa chala sopa song yor so tela te gwi ji gewa chi sa ngor gewa chi di chitram ze song gewa chi de balam ba chu ji 어떤에 tela tene ani niwa kong domba simchi tamchi ge don de pa ba chu ji ne simchi to shi ji chitram simchi to shi bla ni 담자와 지기는 어떤 점수 모두 killin진 때란 지고 때란 지내다 디윙 오즈스로 바로 지바 즉세로 존지고 된 지용을 쏟다 레로 요마다 존 솜바고 존지메나
이 수련남 좀 뒤주질라요.
저런 넘버 소들지 좀 요아치티 좀 가서 쉐바
네.
심지 도시 좀 세.
The 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 practicing the bodhicitta here is the always have great intentions for the sake of all sentient beings, and I will do a, whatever do I will do well for others, and for that I will take the responsibility and to do my best to in order to fulfill that practice, and to do that by alone practicing that which is not sufficient. Plus, we need to practice the three types of morality. The first one is the morality of abstaining from misbehavior, morality of integrating the dharma, and the morality of welfare of other sentient beings.
좀 뭐, 또 송을 씹어라. 다 telete zoachi words. Sonri zong words. So killing chi damja inza, killing damja te padwala. Ta zoachi words. Zoachi la telete ni. Ta lelu namba sum se te pongo words.
To accumulate or the practice the three morality, and one should also put the hard work diligently toward the three types of morality, and in order to do that, one should also restrain from indulging in the three types of laziness.
Sonri se dono karzina. Sem nangni susu shawa tela choa kia te, giwi shawa yela choa na sonri words ne. Giwa shia tela, gawa kia tela sonri se words.
And so, three kinds of efforts or perseverance. What are the three types? Actually, what is the meaning or the definitions of the efforts? So, efforts is really here. Meaning is the ones who have a joy toward the work or toward the task or toward the activities. So that's what we call the definitions of the efforts or the perseverance.
야, 다 sonri dosho te karzina sem lelo go se te. Lelo te namba sem yores.
And the opposite of the efforts, what we call the laziness. So there are three kinds of laziness.
Lelo nang tangbo te kyun chi shu de ngang sa ngi tan jong go ma le se ngi ta thu go ma le sa te rang ni ni wi lelo se te de shu ren se.
And within the three laziness, one of the worst or one of the worst laziness, what we call is the laziness of discouragements, or sometimes we say the low self-esteem.
Ta niwa de ne 샤왕 신지 lelo se chena 샤왕 신 lelo se de so so ji gu ngoi ni kar chi go de ma chi chi ni di kha de te jang ni jamba cheni di ko kap ti shon ro ateres.
And and the second is the the laziness of cleansing toward the unwholesome, meaning that you kind of you kind of like avoid or the skip the tasks and the important things that you have to do, and instead you doing that, you kind of like the move toward the others, the attractive and things and so forth.
스마트네. 샤왕 시슈길로세. 시슈릴수다. 어떤 지기다 지고도 상인적인 난적인 파파파 양전에 내면서 좋은 것 같아요.
And the third is the laziness of procrastinations, the meaning that we always postponed or skip our the practice, and the meaning like we always say like I will do it tomorrow or maybe next week. When it come, you keep kind of postponing that practice.
현재다 존리치나 소소 당보니 샤와 강다 강지기나 수 삼로요고 당네 뒤도는 뭐마 하고 대 삼로요고 당네 선마 콘트 치바지 근데 샤와들라 딘직 니들레가 지기 있는세 담저 지와다 냠데네 소소가네 니지 탑거리세 뽑아 쳔부고네 니 단다랑 니 지기 있는세 진네 어타파 지고르스 세고르스
So buying the restraining oneself from falling into the three laziness that I mentioned. First of all, that once you recognize and able to defeat that three laziness, then how we can defeat that. First of all, we have to kind of recognize the things you want to practice or to study, and things you want to work on. And not only that, able to realize or gain the realizations of the knowledge subjects and so forth, and make sure you perfect on those knowledge and subject and practice, and then sometimes due to the hindrance or obstacles, you might kind of feel not want to engage this practice due to the laziness. Still, because of the the encouragements, you encourage yourself and inspire yourself that I can do this, and I can able to succeed this task or the practice, and then you go ahead and do it and those practice.
근데 샤와킹도 강서가 저저 발라 좀바진 지버시 발라 텔라 시럽지 좀 거르스 시럽지 좀지 만노라지 타수 담어지 소송원이 만노라지 네 장네 장지가이나 근데 텔라지 요라 제가 말이야 노르주슬라 저버지나 남 노르지네 네 올로세 거르지.
Having said that, you should always be inspired and encourage yourself toward your practice, and but sometimes due to the ignorance, we might fail, or we might go into the wrong directions or wrong path. So again, the efforts or the perseverance alone is not sufficient. Plus, we need great wisdom, and by the friends of the great wisdom, and make sure we're not taking any false path or the practice.
시럽지 딱시 땅용 없어서 어 성랑도 소소 대원도 받는지 삼지 대원도 봐 소득만도 삼지 대원도 봐래 또 역고 하고나 뭐 삼지 담질라면 그 삼지 담질 등은 있잖아 삼지 삼로 형지 당신 거 거기 온 거잖아 형지도 기나 좀 위전 발라 로지고나 리라오고니 소소런 것도 너 가르치나 지토와 당시 전도 제라 소제라 강리고 말이지.
And if I give you example, let's say you might in the positions that where you are intensely practicing the great practice, such as the compassions and the loving kindness and so forth. But due to the lack of a great wisdom, we may not able to succeed in our practice. So again, always have the great wisdom or use your intellectual mind. For example, when you're practicing compassions, meaning the wishing that may sentient beings free from suffering and the causes of suffering, may they never be separated from joyful bliss and so on, and uh, and that reflect yourself that sentient beings have a same wish to want to be happy and doesn't want to suffering like I do. In that way, we all share the same kind of wish to want to be happy and free or separate from the suffering. And through that way, if you use kind of intellectual mind and logically, we will understand, and naturally it will develop the great compassions toward the sentient beings, and in that way also, we wouldn't feel any kind of burdens by practicing compassions toward others.
어때? 사태랑도 곰 야지. 동도 서로 동용 조금 정말 치파레 대상 좋아 당스라. 선도 온 대화도 봤던 등문도 봤대. 좋아요 말고 소매 치파레. 대당 소매 치파레나 대 치파레나 안 스미 탐지 등은 당ත나 삼 삼모도 연락 기긴 되겠지. 대기도 때 맞아 봐. 전에 대화 당단나 삼보다나 삼보디 삼당 양심이도 봐. 그래서 전에 감 가지고.
Okay, so let's practice meditations for a couple minutes. And before you engage meditation, make sure that your mind is calm and peaceful, meaning your mind is in equanimity. And once you obtain the equanimity, and then use your the intellectual mind by developing the great compassions toward the sentient beings, or and cautioning yourself that do sentient beings want happiness that I do, and then the reply will be yes, they have same wish that you do, and then in that way you will kind of deep and great realization that okay, we all have same wish to want to be happy, and then again you can ask the sentient beings free from suffering like I do, and the reply will be yes, sentient beings have same wish that I do to free from suffering. So in that way, you kind of like go through all the necessary investigations that we all share the same wish to be happy and free from suffering. In that way, we all are same, and it will help us to easily and to have a compassion toward others.
등을 단위 삼바때 장지르시라. 내가 동단나 삼바때 샴발 때 맞지 봐지.
And the free from wishing free from suffering, that's we call the compassions, and wishing never separate from the joyful, that's we call the love.
It's 11 o'clock.
Any questions?
I have a question. Conscious suffering. Can you talk a little about conscious suffering?
The 동화유라 삼로가 동화지 내비다 삼로 동화주라 디가는 즉 나루지다스다.
그러니까 섬진 등을 세대 결혼도 남도 고조거지. 서로 섬진 등을 쓰지 그때 삼동네 봐. 제동전에 파쇼는 미지라 그런 답 막가로 차이나 파쇼도 나가 좀 말이 삼로지 당보주도 겐지 태용 텔레트니 결혼 소소랑이 그 배침부 존용으로 근데 나와로 차정 때지 딱 적용을 근데 탁바 찾아서 때는 탁바 때다 좀 말때나 그런데 드트 삼로 코로나 탁바 방고 마시 왔다 같이는 저 드트스 시행하는 거지. 그래서 모이니 그 도와이나 상비등을 뜻해도 모이니 그 토마토 로파 먹고 그랬더니 그 되게 좋거지. 진짜 고민 연나 팽개로 뜻이 거지. 샘통지 거지. 가리 갖고 있어. 어땠지? 오까 가리 갖고 저랬을 때 무슨 정말로 냠냠 거니. 샘통.
The actually this one to dealing with the consciousness suffering, it's quite difficult because it needs the levels of the practice of the meditations, as well as the understanding the natural reality. And once we're able to understand the natural reality, and so there's a greater way that we can eliminate or reduce the consciousness suffering. So that's why it is very important always practice meditations. Through the practicing meditations, you can develop the inner strength of consciousness that can recognize the things and event, whatever exists as it is. So again, the suffering of consciousness is produced by our the doubtness, the wrong view or the doubtness. So because of the doubtness, we often create all kinds of imaginations, and that negative imaginations will create the suffering. And for example, let's say I met someone, and eventually I dislike him or her, and because of very process of imaginations or projecting him or her as a bad, and I don't like him or her, or I dislike him or her, and because of that, and it we kind of like since then we imagining him or her as a bad persons, and then which create the suffering and problems, and but that individual itself is doesn't have any, may not be any problem, doesn't have any problem, but because of the self creations or self wrongly thinking over that person, we projecting him or her as a bad. So in that way, we since then we thinking bad persons. For example, let's say in a dark place, you find the the colorful robe. And at the beginning, you might think this is a snake. So you have the misunderstanding, or due to the ignorance, due to the not seeing clearly what it is, you might projecting that robe as a snake, and then because of that, you have you have a sense of scare, fullness, and you might freak out at the beginning by thinking that there's a snake, and but reality it isn't, and so that's why it is important to understand the reality.
탁바 들마임바 탁바임바 하고나 까지 다니 요즘 등에 된도 지금 좀 해야죠.
For example, this is just an example. First, you think this is snake, and you have a great fear at that moment. But as soon as you investigate and you turn on the light and you find out, oh, it's not snake, it is just a rope, and that very fear create the suffering in your mind immediately will disappear. As soon as you recognize, you understand the reality.
그래서 샘기 등을 하고나 레로 세트고 리기 등을 영 레로 르베르베 세이크만도 더 자고 말세.
So the suffering of the physical suffering and the consciousness or the mind suffering, actually, when we look on them, it seems difficult to eliminate the consciousness suffering, but it isn't. As soon as you realize and you gain the realizations of reality, and that within the next second, you were able to reduce the mental suffering or consciousness suffering, where the physical suffering it takes times. You cannot just switch it or heal it right away, but it takes times.
그래서 남지 주시 제목을 그때 나로이나 펜토체 모두스나 그때 지스요는 들만까지 그때 지스는 들만까지 펜 세대 양스 삼동네니 오인을 그때 가르 때 저저는 때 펜토체 모두스 나로이나 펜토체니 정말 펜글 삼기거지.
So that's why I always try to think and the message or the verse taught by great master Shantideva, and he said that if there is a remedy, and why you worry, and just go and fix it. But if there is no remedy, and again, why you worry, and just forget it or avoid it. So that's it's very kind of like it is fact, and it's very useful to me, and I always use this the advice and the practice. It's really helpful to me. Yes.
Okay, well, my question is, we have the bell in the ceremonies here, the bell.
Yeah.
Could you give us a little, how to use it in our personal practice at home?
지우디 김피주 당들이 군주 남주기 냠nen치도 sama 컨디션 period 당 원하세요.
그때 저 다이하라 다는 거
디만다 지우요.
저것도 초밥을 공적 다 공적 다이 초밥.
군주 길기나 수준 남주 냠nen나 컨디션 period 당 원하세요.
다등이 시점시다. 다 지금 초밥 지나는 공간은 룩소를 쏘다. 되게지네 다이 초밥이네. 다이 초밥 표현 또 다이 라소 암족을 보고라. 라텔라 때네 에너지 년라 다답지 년라 보. 알금 받는 법이다. 세원 초는 샤스메 동철들이 만면 샤즈로 몰라. 좀 높이 연등하고 미 지통들 제는 아주 높이 연등하고 농초고자 노행하고 등 아주 컨트롤해야 보고 이거. job for dollar 년라 process 이것도 손든 잡스리.
So bell that you can use actually the bell is the one of the offering of the the pleasures for these five senses, and each of senses we use the sound, uh, the and the smell, and the food, and water, and so on and so forth, in order to make an offering. So that's why. So this is the one of the offering for the ear, for the listener or for the listening, and you can use this whenever you do ritual practice, and to offer to the ear. And but this is the traditionally, you have to study and learn the when and where you can use this bell.
근데 야가를 보내는 오마이나 여우도 초바지 바틴도 동도 동베데 치부 정말저더니 베트 로마르더니 다닌 동도 지라부터 디지코텔랑 알을 저와들 저스다 데 룩수도
So the since you asked about the bell, we use the sense pleasures, five pleasures for the senses. Traditionally, it came from ancient, in ancient India during the great king times, and like ancient time, like. Whenever they have a feast, and they all will have a big kind of ceremony of the party, and during the party, and the guests, when they come, first of all they offer the water for the cleansing, meaning they wash their face and feet, and then once they enter, then they will offer the flower. That's why we have a flower in the offering. And then once they get the flower, then they use the perfume, meaning we have incense for the guests. And then they will serve with the food and drinking water, and so forth. And so once it's all finished, then the person who announce this, or arrange this ceremony, he or she will request to the king, and after fulfilling the ceremony and requesting whatever they wish for. So this is that kind of idea or traditions that has been doing since now.
I just have a quick question. Could you just repeat the second type of morality?
Second type of morality. So, the first one is the morality of abstentions from misbehavior, and morality of integrating dharma or the virtue, and morality of welfare of other sentient beings. Yeah, that is a lot.
야, 따뜻해. 동생은 모르고. 소대선도 가만 줬다.
Yeah.
그러면 동생이다.
Yeah. We have a few minutes left, so maybe I will share a story.
뭐 선지 좀 던데 셔지니들라 아니 동섭지라 선지 소년의 패스 동섭들라 니마지라 그 숨지수 그 니들 동바지라 진데 너 이때 동안 파수 소바들 버청쳐보다 지수 그 집도 배 뭐청 교주라 진데 농new 배 주방 안 받는 듯이 계속 냠데 니마지라 진데 소야요 그도 선지라 때 냥서시에서 근데 지금 아주 동발로 된데 얌츠로 된데 요 종아리 때 간들 렌디 간들 그 겨와 간 진 종아리 예전 좋았고 거는
Ninju 미성 ninju.
지금 뭐 정치 뭐지 저도 좀 들어 저 분수 바즈기 때문에 배 부모님 때 건축질 앞에 하천 거 맞아 담바다 때와 때리와 때리지 수 잠바다 배 돈요 저방한 바데 뭐 정치 어떤 수 나 그쪽 끼어 니 맞게 계속 그만 저쪽이 뭐
네.
그때 성질을 좋았던 거죠.
부숨을 뭐 치, ninju 제 치조 제네 치.
그거니
아니 니 제래매.
그거니 또 여고저 배 순서 바래 그쪽을 보면 그쪽 때 저 논이 쇼지 그 숨님 되겠죠. 농도
Okay. Um, so they're during the Buddha time. During the Buddha time, there was a village, and some kind of miracle, things happened, and so there was three bird happens, and within that village, and two of the baby, one of is boy, one of is a girl, and both of them are beautiful and born in a wealthy family. And but the third, the baby was born in the poor family, and the baby was very ugly.
근데 그것도 야 잘못해서 좁아놓고 잘.
And as they grow up, and their behavior also very different.
근데 성질을 좋았던 거죠. 근데 진짜 그저 냠마치가 뒤쫓을 때 이렇게 있나 그저 잡을 때인데 가르쳐 버렸어요.
And then the audience people asked Buddha, three of kids were born same time and same day, but as they grow and their behavior or the attitudes are very different. Why?
성질 엄마 약을 사주실라 송밭이 뭐니 이랬어. 그 옆에 한참 참고를 좁어 있잖아. 송밭이 집동지나 자님식 받았더니 만다와 가려요. 지들 앞에 송밭 좀 받들라 김이변 제마지 이랬어. 좀 받들 같이나 때 차도형이 기월스 될. 좁어도 될. 하동동 차섬 기월스.
And so people, out of curiosity, and they asked Buddha, why the kids, even though they were born same day and same time, and they grow very differently, meaning they have a different attitude or behavior, and why that's happening. And the then Buddha said the kunzu chawangoma jire laura.
엄마 그 송밭 친구 있기는 네가
예.
보시오 그랬어.
So Buddha said their previous life, their previous life, their previous life was they were business man, and so two of them are very friendly, and they have the same wealth and the same the business and everything's are same, except the one of the businessmen have a beautiful wife, and the problem is the second guy is always invade and toward toward him because of having him as a beautiful wife. Not only that, he has a great desire toward his friend wife.
차도는 내가 냠때 기억을 했어.
Yeah, so he always have a jealousy as well as great desire toward the wife.
네, 그런 걸 반로 동네다 야. 이미 또 콜토가 지고도 그 지금 또 그런 안에 총밭이 그 실로 타자랑 보자 펜로기 인터스 공고 총공부 뭐 별로 주기는 되니까 그런 거 다다 자송으로 때려서 라바르지. 때 파쇼 때 동보라다 농사데 야는 킬린저도 그런 거는 장송직 약을 그 장송다 저들만 그러 장송도 틀ኛ데 장송 정말 없지는데 동보라 무들 쪽이 좀 때문에 어쩌고 저쩌는 나또 무도 킬을 수냠데 장송도 틀리송 그랬을 거.
디 랑힌디 수레다. 그토도 성인들의
뭐 저도 생각해.
네.
딱 그때 봤던 거라다 그 봐줄 때 좋아요.
So so the person who have a jealousy and the great desire, he kind of like he planned something very kind of made the evil plan that how I can have this beautiful how I can steal the beautiful wife from my friend. So he made the evil plan. So what he did one time he said, "Hey, my friend, and I'm going to pilgrimage, and I would like to leave my whole wealth to you, and to do that I need some vice in Burma and for the what do you call the um, the evidence, to have evidence, and that I really, left my wealth to him."
근데 그런 그런 잘로 그냥 막힌 기억을 쏟다 장송도 틀려온데 정도 되네. 그런 잘로 주는데 그런 나와지 파도 돈이 때문에 그 니마 같이 지금 싫어 레벨 용어 때문에 그 파도네. 다그 잘로 좀 키로 있는 거다. 그 가정 때문에 나와 먹고 용 맞아. 용면서 말이지. 다 그러면 내가 좀 돈도 좀 봐서 다다가 서로 랩차이 니 좀 키로 있어. 그래서 그런 때는 정보들이 그런 이시장 맞지는 다가랑 쓰라 키기 작던 거지.
So anyway, after leaving his wealth and he said that I will be living for maybe quite a while and for a couple months, but he just came back maybe after 1 month, and the second guy said, "Well, you came very quickly. You said you will be gone for maybe a couple months," and the first guy said, "Well, I had to come back quickly for some reasons," and then the second guy, the honest guy or second guy, he gave the wealth he kept for him. And without checking, just give to him, and the first guy, took that wealth with him.
근데 그 니마 같이 물들처럼 되고 감시 잡았어. 감시 킹무들 그 주다 그때 딱그 영제 통만 니와 랭용어 농도 그 요만 같이 기사인 거. 딱그니 만 참맞지 맞는데 그 점특지에서 점특지에서 점康나서 대홍가를 요지 대홍데 말로 대홍데 장송지 요지 단도 잡아 미크셔도 장송도가 장송 칠롱도 장송도 용도 어때 그 용도 장송도 대홍지도 이 무도 주도 동안이 내가 영화 주인 시작해 했던 거 하고 맞어. 그때 되는다 좀 뭔가 장송들라 차서네 근데 미가 될다 니와 당하지.
So and then later he sued the first guy, saying that there's it's, my wealth is not the same as when I left. It's been stolen, and he sued him and went to court, and front of the king, and they argue, and the second guy called his evidence, device Burma, and saying that and the Burma said that yeah, that's true. I was there, and he gave this whole wealth, but I wasn't there when he came back to pick this wealth back. And upon the hearing this incidents, and the king decided to punish the honest or the first individuals.
다 잡아 갈더라고 너무 품치 보이자 품치 보이자 때 그만 야가 니 건데 저가 소도당 잡았다. 아니 김이도 콜라 때 근데 좀 돈이다 저좀 그래서
So because the wealth was kind of huge, the amount of wealth, so king decided to give a kind of very the severe punishments. So punishment was the death sentence for the first person, as well as they give up his wife and give to the second person.
탁주도 틈도 줘야 자더니 다 잠바도 소토 당을 소토지 김에도 부모 타사다가 매는 것처럼 냠도 시송을지.
So ancient time, like once someone died, they will do a cremations, and during the cremations,
모롱 처먹다 모롱 손도 냠도 좀 시송을지.
it's, when the body was burning, and the wife kind of ran and jumped in the fire as well.
진짜다 그런 미점bat들 찍어라고 말다 그런 사람도 지금 만들어진. 데 그런 배 요바 쇼진이 되는데 배 그런 거랑 시작해서.
And after the wife, jumped into the fire that her husband was cremating, and when it happens, the second, the main guy, was regret because now he cannot success what he was aiming before, and his plan was fail because he did it all because of earning that wife. But at the end, he failed his plan, and due to what happens, he kind of mentally gets ill and mad, and because of that, he died.
대자도 성지 좀 된데 결정으로 직등 감고 틈라니 말이 병 영화요 말이 담부요 말때는 직등 기 림리 틈라 나면 영화요 말이 단다 고 개월에 맞대 곧 요바기에서 그다음에 미개월은 터리나 마음 공간 소원으로 그래서 그런 이 지금 제선 돌아오면 같이 똑같가요 저단다 맞더니 개월 야 돈이 들어왔다 그래 롱때 말이지.
So Buddha, during this sharing story, Buddha said we may able to fool the the cause and effect, or the law of the law of the in the society, but we cannot fool the karma, the law of karma, because the law of karma will always, will show its result. And for example, that the mean guy, due to his cruel actions, and he will, suffer for what he done, and he will degrade his married and so on and so forth, but that husband and wife, their motivations and their love was pure, and they always generate their karma and merit, and eventually they can liberate themselves.
아, 그렇죠. 다 보고 주도 야가더니 자정이도 야가더니를 그거죠, 그거대로.
Yeah.
또
Yeah, so the three kids, the ugly, the child was the mean guy, and the beautiful boy and brother and sister was the husband and wife. Hopefully you understand the story. It's very complicated. Okay, now we'll say the closing prayer on page number 88. Sorry, page number 80.
All right, thank you, Geshe and Tempa. If you would like to make a donation for this teaching, it would be greatly appreciated, and you can do this by calling 812-336-6807 or by emailing the center at tmbcc.kcl@gmail.com. And for those of you here in the temple, oops, I left my begging bowl back there. Valerie's holding it up. Okay. If you would like to make a donation, I'll pass around that bowl, and it would be greatly appreciated if you can do that. And if you cannot make a donation, just a prayer or a mantra, if you wish, into the bowl. Say hi, Michael. Hi, Michael.
dene rando bene zonye kadar yang kan shi sabba de lo me ma re ge don ro nam de ya ve wang bo na ji de ma zo be te ro kun do yang ja be yang je te be je son de da be ro bo gun song nang ji zo nye ne de be ya no nye shi shou ge zhe zhen do be la ye xie zhang zi ri zhang wei tang gui jing zhou wei ye jie men ba san jie ya wei dang ba ye rang zhen ye ji ba ren jian zhou ge ma jiao qiao jiang yang ber zhe wei shou de yang jie zhen bo yao ru xiu ba yi pan de sa wu zhe ber shu rang jie ya wei me xiao zhen le la zhu chang zhu nam jie re me jiang tan du nan jie ye la ba de xiang ya wen zai ba yang zhe jiang zhi lang zang zhe bian te jian zhe xi ga jian se xie me da me gu ce ra gong de ya wei ma ba yi na da man dong zhe wer ma zhi ji gang zi de ba xiu la qi zhe zhe zu xian zhe na zong ba de ye zi du de nan jie da de zhou xi xiang zha xi yang zu qiu geng qiao zhi jie ba de zang wei ma ma ri gu jie da zo nian ga ba me ten xiu qian bo gu ne zong de gu zong du jie wu zhuo zao du zo chang jiu sen jiu ren bo jie ma jie ba na jie zhi jie jie wa niang ba me ber yang gong ne gong du pe wer xiu kan de ra wei gu wei xian kan de Peda Deva Male Juvene Chere Zenwa Tenze Yaso Ye Shabe Sende Pado Tenjuraji Jamba Bao Jedara Jamba Da Kundo
Nambo Deyan
Nyan De Shen De Da Kunje Jesu Da Lo Jang Yewan De Da Tam Je Ram Do Ngo De Son Shabe Gyawa Tam Je Je Ngo Wa Kan La Chok Do Ma Ba De Da Shen Gewe Tsawa De Gun Chang Sambo Chu Je Ram Do Ngo Wa Je Pen De Jong Ne Dan Ba Dar Shang Ni
Tanzan
Ji Wo Tam Je Go Gam San Lu Chen